XP Team USA.
Hey, today I'm talking about the MI6 Pinpointer from XP Metal Detectors. Great little pinpointer, and this is going to be a completely full tutorial on exactly how to operate this pinpointer, all the features, all the functions. Links are down below in case you want to jump ahead to a certain aspect of this pinpointer. Just look below, click on the numbers. It'll take you to that part of the video, but this is going to be a full tutorial, so let's get started. What really sets this pinpointer apart is the fact that it can connect wirelessly to your DEUS metal detectors, no matter if you're using the remote or if you're using the WS6 puck. First thing I'm going to talk about is it being used as a stand-alone pinpointer. That's right, you can use it just right out of the box without connecting it wirelessly to your metal detector, but I will have to say, if you want the most out of this chargeable battery it has in it, connecting it to your metal detectors is going to give you the most amount of hours used on a single charge. We'll talk about that a little bit later. First, let's talk about turning it on. Hey, to turn it on, all you do is push the button once and it comes on. To turn it off, hold it for half a second and it goes off. Can't be any easier than that. So there you are. You've already mastered the MI6 pinpointer. Okay, let's get into some of the functions of this amazing pinpointer. First of all, I want to tell you about this LED light. Now, I don't normally like my LED lights on my pinpointers. I just don't use them very often, but this one has a special purpose, and I'm going to show that to you now. Let me turn it off. You ever wonder how strong your battery is charged when you're going out in the field? Well, this pinpointer has a way of telling you just how much charge is currently on your battery. Count the number of lights when I turn this pinpointer on. I'm going to push the button, it's going to come on, it's going to blink once, twice, or 3 times. Here we go. How many did you count? I counted 3 before it came on. I counted 3. Let's try it again. Turn it off, turn it on. I counted 3. So 3 lights means it's 100% charged. If you only have 2 lights, it's 60% charged. And 1 light tells you you're down about 30% charged. That is really convenient because, man, I hate going out in the field and not knowing how much battery is left on this pinpointer. Now, you can turn that LED light off, but if you do that, you lose the function of knowing your battery level. So I just leave it on. This pinpointer does detect off the sides as well as at the end. You can see getting close there, all the way around. The detuning function is really cool. Let me show you this detuning function. So right now we're on. I'm going to show you this. So we're just now getting there. So what's going to happen as I get closer to the target, I'm going to wait for it to activate, and I push this side button once. What it does is it sets that as the default maximum. If I go any closer, it starts to go off. So again, if I go closer and detune it just by pushing the buttons for just a split second, now that's the maximum distance. So as you can see, if you're going into a hole, you can continue to detune and detune to really get in tight and locate that target. Again, I just press the button once and it detunes it to where that's now the maximum space. And now with that detuning, I've actually taken away the target. Turning it off, and then turning back on again, resets it. So now for this very large target, you're able to get your full depth out of it. So that's detuning. Really cool feature, really like that. And the fact that it's so easy on the fly to do. Okay, so this pinpointer has an A menu and a B menu. Let's talk about the A menu first. Now, it all depends on whether your pinpointer is off or on when you start this process. It's really easy to get used to. So when the pinpointer is off, you're going to enter the A menu by pushing and holding the power button for 5 seconds. As soon as it gets done with 5 seconds and gives you a tone, you then have to press the button either 1 time after, 2 times after, or 3 times after to enter different functions. And those functions on the A menu are going to be push it 1 time, it changes from pulse to pitch. If you press it 2 times, it's going to turn your LED light on or off. And if you push it 3 times, it will turn vibrate on and off. So with your pinpointer off, that is the A menu. Let's enter the A menu now. Again, the pinpointer is off. I'm going to push and hold this for about 5 seconds and it'll tell you when it's ready to go. And then I'm going to push this button quickly. First, we'll do the tone change. Here we go. Push and hold. Right there, push it once, and now it's changed that tone to more of a pitch. Let's turn it off. Let's enter the menu A again and change that audio back. Push and hold, almost 5 seconds. Push it once. And now we're able to change that back. Let's actually turn vibrate on and off. Okay, so that would be pushing it 3 times. Again, 2 times after you enter menu A for turning the LED light on and off. But sometimes you don't want it to vibrate either. So let's turn it on and hold for 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And it tells you it received it. No vibration. It's just the sounds, just the audio now. That's what you would do to turn vibrate on and off. I'm going to push it and turn it off. Half a second. I'm going to push and hold it 5 seconds again. Go into that A menu. 1, 2, 3. There, vibrate is back on. So that's the A menu. Okay, so what about the B menu? So the difference on accessing the A menu versus the B menu is the A menu starts with the pinpointer in the off position. To access the B menu, you're going to turn the pinpointer on and start with the pinpointer on. And then you're going to go through that hold the button for 5 seconds, and then what you do after is going to change the program you're using. This pinpointer comes with 7 programs at a standalone level right here. 7 programs. Now, the 7th program is the program that it uses to communicate wirelessly to your remotes, whether you're using the DEUS II remote or your WS6 Master wireless puck here. Now that uses program 7, and when you do pair the pinpointer with your controller, it automatically puts it into program 7, so it's not like you have to do that manually. So really, for a standalone pinpointer, you're only concerned with programs 1 through 6. What's the difference between the 1 through 6 programs? So we know program 7 is for the wireless control and communication with your wireless remotes, but what about 1 through 6? If you look at the chart on the screen, I like to break them up between 1 through 3 and 4 through 6. Because 1 through 3, the only difference is going to be the sensitivity setting. Program number 1 has the vibrate on and the buzzer on and has a low sensitivity. Program 2 also has vibrate on, the buzzer on, and has a medium sensitivity. That's my favorite. Yeah, I've tried them all, and the program number 2 with medium sensitivity really works well with this pinpointer. It's probably going to be most familiar to you, as it's just as powerful as any pinpointer out there. It does have a step up in program 3, where it does have the vibrate on, it does have the buzzer on, but it's got high sensitivity. For some people, that sensitivity is just too high. Like a lot of people use that to trace down pipes and wires within a wall, where you do have to get a lot of depth. Maybe at the beach it might help you, but that program number 2 for most people is going to be exactly where you want to be, but try it out for yourself. So 1 through 3, it's going to be low, medium, and high sensitivity. All 3 have the vibrate on and have the buzzer on. But what about 4, 5, 6? Well, again, 4, 5, and 6 is going to be low, medium, and high sensitivity. So just like 1 through 3, the difference is 4, 5, and 6 have vibrate on, but the buzzer is off, where 1, 2, 3 has both the vibrate on and the buzzer on. So that's the only difference really, right? 1 through 3, both on, vibrate and buzzer, and then low, medium, high, 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, low, medium, high, but this time the vibration is the only thing on, the buzzer is off. So let's enter into menu B and try some of these programs. So first I'm going to turn the pinpointer on. Now that it's on, I'm going to enter menu B by pushing and holding for up to 5 seconds, and it'll let you know when it's ready. And then I'm going to push it twice to enter into program number 2. Here we go. Push and hold, almost 5 seconds. 1, 2. Wait. Now it's programmed into program number 2. Okay. Again, I don't like that audio. What do? I turn it off. I push and hold for 5 seconds. Push it once and wait. Now it's into that audio if that's what you like. Okay, now that we're on, I'm going to go ahead and enter into menu B by holding 5 seconds. And this time I'm going to pump it up to program number 3, which is high sensitivity. 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3. And you heard that tone climbing each time. Okay, now we are into a little bit more of a high sensitivity mode, but still, again, you have both buzzer and vibrate on. I'm going to turn now and push and hold 5 seconds again, and let's go all the way up to
number 5, which would be like level 2, but it doesn't have the buzzer on. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Great. So I don't know if you can hear that, but now just the vibration is on. It doesn't have that buzzer. So sometimes, especially like underwater, that would be very handy. But hey, DK, what about program number 7? Again, you can put it in program number 7 manually here, but when you go ahead and pair it, which we're going to talk about here in a minute, with your remotes, like the standard remote or your WS6 Master setup with your little puck here, it automatically puts the pinpointer into program number 7. So you don't have to put that in ahead of time or anything like that. You're just choosing 1 through 6, basically, depending on if you want that buzzer or not. I don't mind the buzzer, and program number 2 is where I like to sit. So I'm going to push and hold it for 5 seconds. 1, 2. Just let it sit. Now it's going back to vibrate and the buzzer. So I know many people that use this pinpointer as a standalone pinpointer, but connecting it to your remote controls for your DEUS or DEUS II actually has a lot of advantages. This allows you to hear the signals from your pinpointer right in your headset. When you have it connected to the remote, you can press a button, you can locate your lost pinpointer with a touch of a button here in your remote. Boy, how many times have you done this? You're digging a target, you go to reach for your pinpointer, and it is not there. What do I do with my pinpointer? I'm going to show you how to locate your pinpointer even if the power's off. Here we go. All right, so first you're going to grab your remote, you're going to press options. It's going to take you into these option settings. You're going to go ahead and scroll up until you see pairing and put it over on your pinpointer. You might have to scroll over until you see your pinpointer, and then you're going to go ahead and select your pinpointer. Now you've already paired it, so what you're going to do is you're going to actually scroll down until you see research. Once you see research come up on the screen, you're going to go ahead and press select. And now it's trying to locate your pinpointer. So now what you can do is you can start walking around where you think you last saw it. We're going to walk over here to this tree. And I don't know if you can hear that, but it is beeping. And there you go. Okay, let's get back to the tutorial. It also shows you a visual of what your battery is doing inside your pinpointer and how charged it is or not. That is really handy. You can change the sensitivity of your pinpointer using your remote control. And you can also change the tone of your pinpointer using your remote control. It's really a lot of advantage, but one of the main advantages to connecting your pinpointer to your remote control and thus to your headset is the battery usage. When you're using the pinpointer as a standalone pinpointer, all the different functions between the buzzer and the vibrate and the LED light, they take up battery usage. When you have it connected to your remote control, you get up to 3 times the battery usage. So you can get up to 90 hours of use on a single charge if you push everything through your remote. That's about the max I've ever heard of a pinpointer going. The reason being is that you can turn off your vibrate and you're going to hear everything inside your headphones anyways, so you don't need to expend that kind of energy and power when you're connected through your remote. So if you turn everything off and you're only connected through your headset, I'm telling you what, 90 hours is pretty amazing. I've had this thing out like 3 times on a single charge, 3 full days, and it's still going strong, still showing almost 100% charged. All right, hey, let's talk about pairing. Let's pair this pinpointer up with our remote controls, whether you're using the regular DEUS II remote control or you're using the WS6 Master setup using your little puck. They both set up very similarly. Let's start with the remote. This will allow you to pair with your pinpointer and also unpair it. I'm going to show you both the remote and the WS6 Master on how you pair and unpair your pinpointer. Once you're paired for both remotes, depending on which one you activate, it'll automatically be paired to both. It's pretty easy to do. Let me walk you through it. Right now I have both the remote and the pinpointer off. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my remote on. All right, let's go into options, push the option button. Okay, then I'm going to scroll down and get to pairing. There's pairing. Now I can go over here on my plus or minus button to go from a coil It's looking to pair a coil, but let's go over until it, oh, there's some headphones it wants to pair. And now here is the pinpointer. I'm going to select that. And now it says to switch this on while holding down the MI6 for 8 seconds. So let's do that. Holding it for 8 seconds. And I'm just looking at my screen. I'm still holding it, waiting for the screen to tell me it's paired. Now I can let go and it's pairing the pinpointer with the remote control. It's that easy. Okay, so now that I have the pinpointer paired with my remote control, and my remote control is paired with my headset, anytime I turn my pinpointer on, it's going to switch the remote control into a pinpoint mode, and it's going to give me the tones in my headset. Now I will tell you, when you turn your pinpointer on, it disconnects your remote control to the coil. So if you run an object over your coil, let's say you set it next to a hole, it will not result in you being able to hear your coil anymore until you turn your pinpointer off. But a half a second push is all it takes to turn this pinpointer off, and I've never ran into a problem with that. If you're the type that likes to hear your pinpointer and also have your coil active in your headset, then you want to use your pinpointer as a standalone pinpointer. You don't want to connect it wirelessly. But again, wirelessly you're going to have much more battery use, so really it's just up to your preference. So let's do that. I'm going to turn this pinpointer on. It's going to turn my remote control into the pinpoint mode, and let's see what happens. Pinpointer is on, and you can see some things here on the screen. You can see program 4, a menu button, and then a square with a target in the middle, plus a battery level. That's cool. It shows you your battery levels at 100%. You can watch that go down and down throughout the day and make sure you have enough battery to get you throughout the day. So let's go ahead and put this pinpointer towards a metal target and see what happens to the screen. As we get closer, you'll see that that screen closes off right into. And you're also hearing a mic I have set up on my headset across on the other side of the room. So you should be able to hear this really loud. And that's what it sounds like in this program 4. And the programs 1 through 4 are tied to the menu functions that you have here. So let's enter the menu and see what we have to choose from. So from your remote, you can control all this on your pinpointer. You can control the tone. Right now it's at its max, 1582. But if we reduce that to, let's say, 800 or so, here's what the tone sounds like. Okay, so you can change the tone. Let me go and jump it back up. Okay, so if you like different tones, you can change lots of tones there. Let's go down one to audio. Again, you have pulse. You can change it to pitch. You can go down to sensitivity and change your sensitivity all the way down. If you think it's being too sensitive, you can change that here. I like it up right around 46. I think it goes up to a maximum of 50. So again, sensitivity, tone, and audio. Those are the 3 menus you have here to control your pinpointer right with your remote control. So again, to get out of this menu, you notice there's no back button. To get out of the menu, you simply push half a second and your pinpointer's off and you're back to coil connectivity and your general menu. First thing I'm going to do is unpair this pinpointer. Now I could go over and pair it on the other one too, but I'll show you this real quick. To unpair the pinpointer, you just do the steps again. With the pinpointer off, you're just going to go to options. You're going to go to pairing. You're going to go ahead and head over until you get to the pinpointer icon. Select it. It says unpair, select unpair, and it wants to know yes or no. Yes, unpair the pinpointer. Now your pinpointer is not connected. And now let's check out the WS6 Master to see how you do the exact same thing. All right, first thing we're going to do is turn the power on the WS6. Let that come up. All right, now I'm in my general menu here. Okay, now I'm going to go to settings, little gear button down here. I'm going to go over, because it's looking to pair, headphones, coil. There it is, pinpointer. Okay, now I'm going to push this in long hold. That's what that little arrow inside the box, the little arrow is. Again, settings, pinpointer, long hold, and it's going to say turn that on. Okay, so I'm going to turn this on and hold it. And keep holding it until the screen changes. Now it is pairing. You can set the pinpointer aside and let it finish pairing. Okay, so now that I have the MI6 paired with my WS6 Master, when I turn the pinpointer on, you should be able to hear it coming through my headphones. So as the pinpointer gets near a metal object, you're seeing the same visual you have on the main remote. You're seeing the battery gauge and program 4 there. So to get to the menu, you're just going to press the menu down button. And again, you have sensitivity that you can adjust up and down. What else do you have? If you long press the menu button, you can save your settings for program number 4. So that means all these settings we put, whether it's sensitivity, tone, the 2 different audio modes, those 3 settings, you can set those up into 4 different programs. Now, if I go plus or minus, you see what happened? It just changed to program number 1. Let's see what program number 1 is. Program is sensitivity of 7, tone of 1582, but I'm going to go ahead and drop that down to 900. Okay, right around there. And pitch, I'm going to change to pulse. Now I'm going to long hold this to save. Save, yes. Now I've saved it in as program number 1. If I go back, now I'm in program number 1. So I changed the audio tone and the frequency of the tone. Pretty cool. Again, there's 4 programmable programs that you can set up, that you can call up. I don't know when you would actually use this. I think for me, once I get it set, it's pretty much dialed on. But maybe you have terrain that you hunt to where you'd want these different programs. It's real easy to switch around. Again, to get out of the pinpoint mode, you just turn and hold off your pinpointer. Now you're back in your general settings and you're off and running. I really like this puck. It lessens up the price of the DEUS. I tell you what, if you want to own a DEUS for about $750, you go the WS6 Master route and you can get into the DEUS platform for some really affordable pricing. So I have the pinpointer paired to the puck and also my headphones paired to the puck and my coil paired to the puck. Doesn't matter which remote I use. If I keep everything paired on both remotes, as long as I'm on the same version, everything should work seamlessly. So if I turn this on, the headphones are going to be automatically paired and the pinpointer is going to be automatically paired as well as the coil. One last feature I want to talk about that I just didn't think I would, but this little lanyard they sent you in the package. I've never used a lanyard before, and I'll tell you what, I really like it. It stretches really far. Even though I hold this in a pouch, keeping this connected means that I probably won't lose it anytime soon, but really convenient to have these little lanyards. I've really become used to using them. Kind of a quirky little thing, right? So you guys check it out, the MI6 from XP Metal Detectors. I'm really enjoying it the more and more I use it. Completely customizable to set up however you like it. But it's easy to use, it's easy to function, and it's very, very sensitive and deep. It does everything you want a pinpointer to do. It has just turned out to be a great little pinpointer.
Hey, so there you go. Did I miss anything? Hey, leave me a comment down below if you have any special tips or tricks for this MI6 pinpointer. It just has so many functions. It's really a great pinpointer. Let's get back to digging.